Hey everybody, what is going on? I am Maximus Rex and this is Big Baby Reviews. Today is JAE LEE Day, so we're taking a look at the next comic of his that I have in my collection. We're running out of time with JAE LEE. We've got 2 more issues to go, HELLSHOCK number 2 and 3, and that is it. This is the second series, I guess volume 2. This will be a really quick review because as my buddy Robert Norton mentioned, he sent me a comment on the last one of the last HELLSHOCK books that I was reviewing and said, you know, if you think these were boring, wait till you hit volume 2. And he was not wrong. All props to Robert, because going through this issue, it was a slog. I started reading it and couldn't follow through. I got to be honest. It's like the worst version of some, you know, crappy Vertigo book, I guess is how I describe it. Really bad Vertigo book. I said Vertigo, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Let's just go through it and I'll show you why. Rarely do I hate a comic this much, but yeah, just not at all what I was expecting from JAE LEE. At least the last HELLSHOCK miniseries still had artwork that harkened back to maybe earlier JAE LEE that I appreciated and I liked from YOUNGBLOOD, Strike File, and Wildcats trilogy. I think Wildcats trilogy is probably his best artwork overall in that first early period. But here he goes, you know, let's have a look. Like already the covers just doesn't really, not that enticing, right? And he's going pretty much full picture reference on this one, or at least I feel like he is a lot. Not everywhere, but at least 75-80% of it is. And to me, it just doesn't work. And there's other, again, more modern periods or further ahead periods of JAE LEE that I really do like. His like current stuff I think looks really awesome. But this is just not in any way one of my favorite periods. Probably my least favorite period of JAE LEE artwork, to be honest. So written and illustrated by JAE LEE, painted by Jose Villarrubia, and all these other guys, man. HELLSHOCK logo designed by David Plunkett, I guess we'll give him credit. Lettered by Richard Starkings, and yeah, there you go. Book design by Doug Griffith. Like, how many people has he got going on this thing for all these different little things? Published by Eric Larson and Image Comics. I guess Eric Larson was the CEO of Image at that time, or whatever that position is called, the publisher. Yeah, so look at these 2 pages here, right? And if you're wondering what you're going to get in this comic, you're just going to get more of this really boring, head-on, repetitive artwork and shots with some dark gothy coloring and lots of splatter. But again, none of the exciting kind of line work and grittiness that, you know, was there in his artwork before. None of the exaggerated proportions. Yeah, just, you know, more of this all the way throughout. The page layout as well, right? I guess he's kind of going anti-Image at this point and going with the 9-panel grid, or figuring out, you know, let's go back to basics or something. But you know, what's actually going on? Real quick, you know, HELLSHOCK is catatonic in some sort of a asylum. He's being taken care of by one orderly who's apparently wants to harm him at some point, or is probably going to do him harm. And then this lady orderly takes a liking to him and is with him more and more. And yeah, that's basically it till the end of the issue, which I'm not going to spoil till we get there. But that's, yeah, that's the gist of the issue here. And just the amount of text that you got to get through and read. Like I said, I stopped at a certain time because I just couldn't do it anymore. Nothing of interest really happens. Just a bunch of characters talking. Again, very repetitive, very dark, very gothic, very Vertigo. I guess that's what he was going for, but I just, yeah. I'm going to go through quickly, guys, I'm telling you, because nothing jumps out at me except for that last page. So I guess I'll just speed up ahead and get to it, right? So here she is again with Daniel. I'm trying to, you know, have him break through. We've seen this trope a million times before, right? There's a scene here where someone's shooting heroin. I don't know if it's meant to be him in the past, or what, if that's a flashback or what that is. It's not quite clear in the storytelling. Even when you're actually reading the book, it doesn't really make that much sense. And just a lot of people talking and a lot of text. And once again, I'll shout out Robert Norton, because he was absolutely right about this horrendous comic. So I'll give them this, at least near the end. What starts happening is, you know, things start opening up. They get outside the asylum on the roof. The artwork, the layouts do kind of display that. The panels got a little wider on this page here, right? Because it's now a 6-panel grid, not a 9-panel grid. And then boom, we move to the 3-panel grid. So this kind of progression here and him kind of awakening and coming out, right, of his catatonic state. you know, that works fine for me. Storytelling wise, this is the most interesting bit, is these last 3-4 pages, right? So it kind of starts, you know, as he's talking here, and Tour gets outside, you know, spreads his wings as the son of an angel, right? I guess we don't see them, but the last shot being them actually taking off. And I will say this, artistically, I think is a great shot. I would chalk up most of it, the impact of the shot, to the coloring, right? I mean, I'm sure JAE LEE did this stuff. Looks photo referenced, right? Or traced off a little bit. Kind of reminds me, or reminiscent of Miracle Man, right? Alan Moore's Miracle Man. There's a bit of that in there too. But just, I thought this was a pretty striking image. It's the only double page splash. It's full bleed. And probably, like I said, the only worthwhile thing to look at in this whole issue. And boom, that is where it ends. So that is where we're going to leave it for today, unless there's something interesting throughout. We already reviewed this. You can take a look at it. Seen the ads for this. Just going to say once again, characters look pretty generic, but I think the artwork looks interesting. I've just never seen this book out there in any comic shop. So does it actually exist? Was it actually ever printed? Let me know if you have that one. I thought this was kind of fun, a slightly more kind of Batman animated style to Freak Force. Probably would have made the book a little bit more interesting than Victor Bridges' artwork, which I mentioned I'm not a huge fan of. Ash, I will be looking at that at some point on Joke Wasada Day. I'm working my way towards that now, or on Sword of Azrael as it is. Still some Ninjak stuff to look at, something else I think in between. I thought this was kind of hilarious. Vampirella versus Hemorrhage. His name is Hemorrhage. Like, a character is called Hemorrhage. Man, the 90s at some point just started running out of names. I have to assume then that there's a character called Blood Clot out there. And I say that with jest, but I guarantee you, if anyone looks it up, there probably actually is. All right, that is my review of HELLSHOCK #2. Short, sweet, and to the point. Not a great book. Even worse than the first series, honestly. Apart from that negative review, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're subscribed, thank you for being loyal and sticking around. If you're not subscribed, please do so below. It's really quick for you. It only takes a second. And it really helps the channel, helps us grow, and helps get us out there to other people who are into comic books just like we are. So everyone out there, thanks again for watching, and have an awesome day.
Like, subscribe, like, subscribe.
King Comics presents Big Baby, Volume 1, Issues 1 to 13. 204 pages of story and art. King Comics also presents Star Crasher one-shot, 32 pages, cosmic sci-fi surrealist adventure. You can find these fine comics at KINGCOMICS.CA, at MaximusRex13 on Instagram, or on Facebook, MaxRex or Big Baby.